We have a singular privilege to be with you here today, sir. Please, can we meet you?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Chief Benjamin Ewaoche Obe, the Ojimere one of Ojira.
As a resource person of the last Echija Symposium, what can you tell us about the brief history of Echija Festival?
Okay, thank you very much. Well, the main history of Echija started from the 28th of December 2018. There is a friend, a brother, one of the lovers of the Idoma. He had the thought of marching for peace. His name is Ogli Adogo, Fred Ogli Adogo. He shared the idea with us, and then we decided to bring everybody in. We're all in. I was in. Oncheode was in. Even Lawrence Obe from US, he was also there. Amedu Iklaga was also there. We took a walk from Jesus College through to Ibadan Street and up to we ended at the Chidoma's Palace. We wore black shirt, red and white. He made the t-shirt for all of us and the face cap. So we did the march. It was a march for peace, and there should be peace in Idoma. So while we were moving on that same day, Amedu Iklaga said he had a thought. So many things have come into his mind from the walk. Amedu Iklaga eventually, and then started sharing with us that he has a vision that we can turn this to a masquerade movement, and then a celebration, a cultural dance that reflects the other areas of Otukpo local government. Otukpo, for instance, because if you check our history, we all played together. We play Sway, we play Koso, and then we could move from Ojira, go to Ibadan Street, eat in their house, go to Ogli's house, sit down and eat. Why is this thing not happening again? So we could do something that will bring the unity and greatness together. So when Amedu brought the idea, it was a very fantastic idea. I would say this kind of dream cannot die. And then we decided to say, okay, let's see how we develop this idea. But sincerely, that dream was a dream by Amedu Iklaga, who is the convener. And immediately after that, we now set up various committees to develop it. And then we still insisted that he would be the leader. Because most of us are politically inclined. If you bring in politics, it will die. And we decided to build on it with him. And on the 8th of August 2019, we formally launched it on WhatsApp group. The Echija WhatsApp group. We brought in so many other people, and then Echija started. From that point, we said, okay, we're going to do the first Echija in December. That same 28th that we did the work, 2019. But my happiness was that everybody who had the dream of Amedu Iklaga decided to support Amedu Iklaga. But we decided to go outside us because we may be limited with some ideologies. We now brought in our seniors like Echija Akpa. We brought in Dr. Adokola Elijah. We brought in a few other persons that have experience of this cultural thing. And then we decided to start developing it. So our first target for the first edition was we bring the dance from Ojira, we bring from Otukpo, we bring from Akbegede, and within the town, which was very, very successful. All the dance group, Ojira is known for their Obadike and every other masquerade. We brought the Echija and all the other things. So now we made it the guy by the chairman, because he's a firm person and he's somebody who stands on his word. And we also made him, after the chairman, he had to consult the Otukpo, because Otukpo must be in. He's the head of the tradition of Otukpo. So the Echija started building and taking the function from that point. And the various committee, everybody worked tirelessly. And that 28 has become a date in Idoma land that Echija will stand the test of time. The last Echija was a great one. where you can see even those that follow the dream from the beginning, they are going out of extinction because most people refuse to participate. So we give so much credit to Ahmed Wiklaga for that dream. Most people have had dream and the dream died with them. And the real place he had the dream was that movement that was organized. And then he started discussing the dream with people. So it's not like when Joseph had a dream in the Bible and shared it with his brothers. At the end of the day, they started castigating him. But we say it's not going to be like that. When he had this dream, it's a dream that will be nurtured. And one unique thing about that young man is he's a very active person. He used his artwork to ensure that the Echija don't die. From the first Echija, which was the 28th of December 2019, so much finances went down from him and every other person who made contribution, but he was not discouraged. The second edition came too, and then we had the third edition. But I believe that what is going to come in the fourth edition, that's Echija this year, 2022, is going to be an outstanding moment because it's taking an independent stand. And we always stand that it will not be political. It will not be about anybody who is in power, so that when the person leaves power, Echija will die. So Echija is something that takes us back to the history. And that's why when we had the picnic, you discover that you come there, you see where they play Lido, they play wood, they play draft, you eat roasted yam, so many funny activities, the old school. So we are returning back ourselves to the history where we relate together. And Echija is something that is going to bring the unity of the young, progressive Idoma people. It will get to a point where if you are not in Echija or you are not around Echija, you will be out of place. I'm happy with some of our brothers in diaspora that came in to assist the Echija. They may not know how it started and how this thing is going, but they come. They come in, they don't even want to know. They support as much as we can. So I believe that it must not be all about you, but what you can add to Echija, you need to come and add. Echija just started like a dream, and a dream by Ahmed Wiklaga on the 28th of December 2018 from a walk that was organized by a group of friends which he belonged to. In fact, it was among the youngest and us. That actual walk was organized and dreamt by somebody too, Fred Ogli Adogo, who brought all of us inside to do the walk. And even, I think Westside too came for that walk. We had road safety following up. It was a very fantastic walk that took us from here through Akpa Street. The route that we follow in Echija today, that is the route that you see that walk took us to, up to Sabongeri, and came in to stay in Ochidoma's Palace. We prayed that day when we arrived at Ochidoma's Palace, and then from there we dispersed to our various homes, and those who were to travel. The 28th was a date where we feel it's a relaxed period for everybody. You have the stress of the Xmas. From the Xmas, you stay to do the 28th of Echija, then you move to your New Year. There are some persons who don't spend their New Year in Otukpo here. So that 28th was a symbol from that same day that the dream was dreamt, and that walk was held. And that is how Echija came to stay. And I believe that the history of Echija started from the 28th of December 2018, when Ahmed Wiklaga had their dream, and he shared with his brothers. He shared with us, his brothers, and then we encouraged him, and he was never tired of seeing how to ensure that Echija worked. Today Echija is a household name in the Idoma land, and we give so much credit to him. God will give you the dream of what will help your people. And one of the very unique things we want to see in Echija now is, how do we bring the young ones in? What fora do we bring in? The first edition was not having symposium, and even the second edition, but the third edition we had a symposium where we brought in people who know about the history to speak, but the history of Echija is still kept in the dark. But that is where that dream started from. In the course of the walking, he said he's looking at this walk in a different. I will never forget that word that he said that day. I mean, to me and a few others. I think I was with Ogli when he said it. He said he's imagining this thing to be in another light, where we bring masquerade from different parts of Otukpo as we used to relate together those days. And then for us to have brought ourselves together to do this march, we bring masquerade from different places and then we march on. Let me tell you, some of us, even if we have that kind of dream, we may die because we may not have the will to push it. But this young man has the will, the zeal, and then he committed his life and everything to ensure that Echija come to stay. So I think we encourage all Idoma, young and old, even the small ones, to queue into this system, this Echija system, and then let it not be sectionalized, let it not be done with any malice, so that we can push it to a better level. There are so many things that are needed in Echija. Echija now is supposed to start maybe from 27th. Activities are supposed to start. We normally have picnic on the 27th, and then they build up to Echija. There are other activities that are supposed to go on that need sponsor. Some persons can also bring in ideas. You bring in ideas. Somebody who brought the idea of symposium might be different from the original convener of Echija. The person who brought the picnic is also different from the original convener. So you can bring in your own idea, you get people to finance it, and then the dance that they do, all the people who do the procession. You see this year they were also given some financial assistance which help them. The winners, eventual winners, get prizes, but we are going to see the best way out. So we have decided that every committee will have to work hand in hand with one other committee. There is no power struggle, there's nobody can take it. I believe that the Otukpo is supposed to give him a chieftaincy title in Otukpo. Sincerely, Amedu Klaga is supposed to have a chieftaincy title in Otukpo. It's not people who bring money alone. And the Otukpo is somebody of good repute, is educated, is somebody who has so much integrity, and is somebody who stands for the right thing. And I know maybe the next Echija, I don't know, is supposed to make some positive declaration, and then Echija will have to become a day in Idoma history. There was a period within the Idoma circle where the late Ajeno Pabi, the Ochidoma, had to create Idoma Day. I think on the 27th of December, that was when most of these the chiefs in Idoma were given title. It's a day that Idoma youths are celebrated. The thing died because of sectional thinking, or maybe when he died, the thing died with him. Even shortly after that, they used to have people. I remember there was one that the likes of Obano Beya were the chairman of the planning committee. He died out. But in the case of this Echija, one of the things is that in 2021, we had a lot of new innovations, like I said earlier, like the symposium that came to add to it. We had the usual picnic and every other thing. But I believe that the chairman of organizing committee, the way it's being done, they will bring in more flair into it, more activities into it. It used to be a one-day thing in 2019, the first edition, and 2020, the second edition. But the 2021 became a two-day. This in 2022 will be more fantastic, because I believe in the great strength of the organizing committee. We have different committees, but I think the chairman of the committee decides on what to bring in, what to make it work. The aim is to make it a tourist attractive event that people, Idoma sons and daughters all over the world, will be looking up to this day. Some of them will have to even travel with their family to come. In 2021, so many people came with their family and they had a fantastic moment. They have pictures. These masquerades, those days when we used to come up during Christmas, you will see that if Ojira is bringing their badike, the Otukpo and Co bring Achichi, you see masquerade all over. The thing was actually dying down. So this time around, it will also help the locals, to the people within the home front, to prepare masquerades. Like the last edition, the people will come first and all the people will be coming first again, because sincerely everybody is preparing to develop. I'll give you an example from Ojira. The masquerade that came from Ojira in the last edition or the last two editions is Obanike, but the one they brought was a complete different one this year. So they too research on what to bring in to make it outstanding and better. So it's a challenge and what everybody is looking forward to. And the masquerade that was very outstanding, the one that gave birth to children in the 2021 edition. We don't know, maybe the masquerade that we may see in the next edition will be a masquerade that will give birth to a plane or a train, you know. So the innovation is coming on. So it's not limited to the organizers or the dreamers. The dream is expanding and it keeps growing. So much credit to the convener, Amedu Iklaga, and I believe that this one will not die like every other festival. We have Idoma Carnival, it's still running. The young man there is doing his own and there is no clash of it. We keep telling people, if we have activities within the festive period, people will want to come home. And that's why we also appreciate this vigilante group, and then the police and other security agencies. They are very fantastic. They ensure that there is peace. They check the security aspect of the place. Well, first of all, if you are doing this kind of a thing and you want to get enough tourists, you must check the security of the people. We engage the young one in other activities. We started engaging them so that they will avoid the issue of crime. Let me tell you, my brother, you can see that every young adult is looking up to Echija. If they look up to Echija every day, it will completely reduce the rate of crime. So I think Echija too can also reduce the rate of crime within the Idoma area. And then I want to also say that it will get to a point where Echija will become a national, international thing. It's already international. But when I mean a national thing within the Idoma nation, you will discover that the Idoma people all over the local government, from the 9 local government of the Idoma, Ado, Okpoku, Ogbalibo, Apa, Agatu, Otukpo, Oju, Obi, they were all coming, and Ohimini. They were all coming with different masquerades, and then you discover that it's going to be a different thing. Idoma will come back to a glorious time, and it will also come to a point when we are taking decision, we will take it like brothers and sisters. That's the area we're looking at Echija to go. Like I said earlier, the dream was taking us back to the days where an Ogbalibo man will not be seen as Alala and discriminated. And then the Otukpo person will not be seen as a Nochi and discriminated. We will not use discriminatory name. I'm from Ogbalibo. I am Alala, as it's usually called. Amedu Iklaga is from Otukpo. And let me tell you, the greatest friends my father have, they are all from Otukpo. When you talk of the likes of Obuji Kongwe, the likes of Adokola Dama, they are all Otukpo. Dr. Ode, there are many of them. Other friends, they are from Ado, Agila, you are from Agatu, and sometimes they can even call you and say, come, I have a farm, come and take cassava of 1 tractor. I remember we used to go to Otukpo to harvest a tractor of cassava from Abacha farm as a gift to my father. And the same thing, my father would just come and open a file for them, say, look, all your children, your family take treatment. So within the Idoma, what you have, you give to your Idoma people. The scenario is changing, and we want to take ourselves back to the days where we can relate with ourselves without discrimination, without fighting. If you hear the voice of Idoma, Oi Abole, you should know. So the Idoma slogan mainly is Abole or Abahole. When you hear that anywhere, we should show ourselves. Let me even tell you another thing that will shock you. When you go to some of our Idoma brothers and sisters that are in big position, you greet them and say, Mwachisa, they will answer you with English. they almost drive you out. And these are people that behave as if they are not Idoma, they don't grow at home. Some of them even eat on Ikuripu at home. Some of them even eat on Obola. And some of them eat Okoho with us. But today, because they are better, they are not helping our people. Go to other places, when they speak their language, they see it as a source of joy and excitement. When you speak Idoma to anybody, hey, match up, and the next thing the person will tell you, they see you as a criminal, they see you as somebody who is either a rogue. We are going back to a point where we are supposed to be seeing ourselves as one entity in the Idoma circle. We want to avoid all form of discrimination. Let me shock you about this Echija thing. There are so many things that have come up. Some will say it's Otukpo thing. It's not Otukpo thing. It's Idoma thing. And that's why I say when I'm bringing this history, I am part of the history. Benson Agbo, who did that work with us, Benson Agbo is from Okpoku. He was with us. Onchode is from Otukpo, Ogli is from Otukpo, Amedikla guy is from Otukpo. This person, what's his name? We have so many other people from other places. This Lawrence Ogbe that was with us is from Uboju. What's his name too? This man that came to join us in that work, West Side, is also Dr. Adoy. Is also from the None Axis. We have other people who joined that movement, even from Ado, and so one other person from Megede too. So it is a collective effort to bring Idoma together, to bring an enlightenment. So every day when I sit down, I thank God that we have a platform. It may take time to get us together, but it will take us very short time, because within our generation, we are trying to bring in a generational reconciliation. What our parents have done together. We want to see the good, the bad side, and the ugly side, where our parents overlooked, to ensure that we get to this point. If not, my brother, the rate at which things are going, you will see an Idoma man from Ogwalibo dying on the road, the Otukpo man will pass, or vice versa. We are not supposed to be like that. So I think what the thing is heading towards is to ensure that we have a proper unity of purpose in the Idoma land. And that is the only way we can control this crime. Everybody has its own popularity. When you come to Idoma land, especially the Otukpo, Otukpo is the headquarter of Idoma land. Otukpo is the headquarter of Idoma land. So every Idoma that you see, you will see them here. If you go to within the Ward 2, Ward 3, the Southern Gerio, Jira axis, up you will see enough, even Ward 2, Zone HB, and every other places. When you even come to the Ward 2 again, you see the Hausa community. We accommodate everybody. The average Idoma man is somebody who really accommodates people. So we want to go back to that aspect. This idea that is coming and trying to destroy our unity for selfish or political reasons, we want to deviate from that. So most of the problem we'll be having, let it be political. That one, when we take a decision, we will see how it will work the same. So I think Echija, the main aim of Echija is how to take us to the foundation where we used to be.
Such a captivating history, I must confess. So you see, Echija Festival has come and gone, and there is no doubt that the memory still lingers around the corner. And we can say that Echija Festival have a wider audience now. So can you briefly tell us what you have for your wider audience?
Yeah, I think one thing you need to know is that when you give birth to a child, that child must grow beyond you. It will come to a point where even the real dreamer, the name will be there, but he may not be within the circle. But one unique thing about Amedo is open to everything that develops Echija. And that is why everybody within the starting point is open to. Nobody has monopoly of knowledge. Nobody. For example, for a house to be built, you will have those who will dig. The architect cannot do the digging himself. The architect cannot produce cement, you must buy cement, you must buy sand. So everybody must be in it to give a good architectural celebration. So Echija is a dream. And what we're trying to let people know with a wider audience is that when Echija comes, please let us support, leave less of the criticism and look at the positive side of it. If there's anything, there will be a forum that will be open. We'll speak it out so that people will bring in their observation of every edition. Like the 2021 edition, we'll have a forum where people will observe where they feel that there are errors, where they did, it will be noted. Those things will be corrected in the next edition. We want to bring it to perfection so that when it is happening, it will become like an institution. But Echija has come to stay by the grace of God, and we are assuring all the audience, those from all part of Idoma, whether you are coming from Alala, Enone, any part of Agbehi, any part of Idoma, the Egede, everybody must come in and see. Let's celebrate that day and see our history. We have the likes of Odeobaike. Odeobaike built here. The Uju people, Egede people stayed here. They didn't remove the house from here to their place. So this is our home. Otukpo our London. The Otukpo they are talking is not Otukpo as indigenous alone. Otukpo as though I was born, bred and buttered in Otukpo. I was born at St. Monica's Hospital in Otukpo. So I schooled here. I did everything here. You wake up one day and say, because my father is from Oupa, I should pack to Oupa. You wake up one day, that will be a generational rascality from anybody who says the owner of Otukpo that I should pack. Or maybe overnight you have money. You say you come and break my ancestral house because you say you are from Otukpo. It can't work like that. Every Idoma has the right to live in Otukpo. Let me even tell you, the real Otukpo blood that we know, they don't discriminate. They are very accommodating people. Anybody who is doing anything contrary to that is not Otukpo blood. And the Idoma blood is the same thing. So I think that what we are trying to drive home is going back to the foundations. We have the likes of Chief D. Enenche, Adokale Ogli, Chief D. Agada. We have More Days, More Hope. Even Mozu International is Igbo. We have every other person who came from every place to build Otukpo. No town is developed alone by the people that are indigenous. Otukpo town is for all of us, and we must celebrate it together. We must love ourselves, and then we speak the same Idoma with different variation, just a little variation, but there is mutual intelligibility. In every language, if there is mutual intelligibility, is seen as the same language. If another man is speaking, there are things you must pick. You pick 80% from what he's saying. The same thing with Agatu, you pick 70. If Alala is talking, Otukpo picks up to 90. If Otukpo is talking, Alala picks up to 90. So why can we not relate as one? Anybody who tries to bring disunity may be doing it for political reason or selfish interest. So I think all the young Idoma people that are really developing in other spheres of life, who have enough finances, should come and develop this thing. It will go to their glory. Their names too will be written in gold. Very soon we'll do people that their names will be written in gold. This Agaba somebody, one engineer Agaba somebody, he's very supportive. I can't really mention him, but I can pick names. That guy, if there's anything about Idoma issue, he comes in. And I also, well, let me not be very specific. I've not seen where some of the people I wanted to mention are really coming. But I know they will come in because they love things. When we had the last procession, I think Ochacho came out from his house to come and wave also, and so on. So I believe that the young ones are growing. People are going who have finances, they should come around.
That's impressive. So finally, before we go, what are your steps towards publicity and tourist attraction for Echija. You know, Echija is a beautiful thing. We have to export the beauty to the world. So what are your steps towards attaining that height?
Okay, thank you. We have the committee on publicity. They've been doing a lot. And when people like you to come in, we see their part TV, we see, or we first of all use, now we use the social medias because they've been very outstanding. And when you people too come in, you take it to the world. I believe that more publicity will be done in that light, especially in this Echija issue. It's a collective responsibility. One of the things we also want to discourage ourselves is if you don't have money, too much money, people will not want to cover or come up for you. And it's really affecting so many things and the growth of things within the area. But I believe that when progressive Idoma people come without any financial attachments to it, come to do the selfless part, let me tell you, you can also contribute your own quota. Like what you are doing, you are publicizing Echija. Even if you don't bring Tenkobo, you have done a very great thing for Echija. So let everybody in their social media come do what they want to do and they go on. But there is a publicity committee, and maybe this year's chairman will know what to do and then push on from the publicity. And maybe earlier, it may be earlier, you will see that the t-shirts this year was very fantastic. The cap, various things, the danchiki, people went for it. And even at the point it got out of stock. But I believe that Amedu, Echija and his team, they are doing very well, and to the glory of God, they will do great things within the next Echija.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure meeting you and speaking with you. At least for the benefit of our audience, they have a proper graphic about the Echija, talking about the history. The history too is a captivating history with a lot of motivation, talking about dreams, how dreams can be multiplied. So it's a pleasure meeting you, and it's such an honor.
Well, I give to the person singing, not the drum, please. You will destroy the equipment. Entirely you to be getting set. Gbọ́banya lọ sótùpọ̀ ẹ̀mọ́ rẹ̀ ó rẹ̀ lọ yẹ̀ fún ẹ̀kọ́ fún olùkọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ sótùpọ̀ èyí ó fi ẹgbẹ́ bá ó kìlọ̀ fún general information àlọ́fà ẹ̀bákúrú yàn kí ilé ìjẹ̀ ó kìlọ̀ fún general information àlọ́fà. Bakuru yàn kí ilé ìjẹ̀.